Pulp Picks, and welcome to another amazing week of Pulp Picks. I'm Corey.
I'm Fritz.
I'm Sarah.
And I'm Patrick.
And Patrick can start us off this week. Yeah.
All right,
You
sure.
get to go first.
I'm totally unprepared. I usually, speed read these books. If you slow down the film, I speed read these books while you guys are giving your reviews. Just what you'll see. And then I make it all up. It's just completely from the hip.
Yep.
Yeah. So there were a lot of good books this week.
There's a ton of
so
good
many.
ones.
We argued and wrestled a little bit over who got what. It was ugly. But I ended up landing on Spider-Man: The Lost Hunt. And, I was telling Fritz earlier this morning that this era, the Ben Reilly era of him being the actual Spider-Man in New York, is kind of the only blind spot that I've got in the Amazing Spider-Man readings, which is funny because, one would assume that would be when I was reading most as a young lad. Not to...
A youngin'.
Yeah. But I really don't know much about it. It's literally the only part of Amazing Spider-Man that I've never read. I've read from, first appearance and then everything new, but there's that little gap in there of about 5 years where it was just kind of, So this has been really interesting, and it's Peter and MJ are out in Portland, and it's during that period of time. So my big question is are we just getting a glimpse to before the deal with Mephisto, or...
That's what I was going to ask, too. I thought it was like an alternate universe thing.
No,
The
it's
J.J.
not. It's
Abrams
just before...
Spider-Man.
It's just
'Cause
before...
I didn't realize that Mary Jane had ever been pregnant before.
Well, that was the whole thing.
Yeah, that was in the 90s.
Yeah, on One More Day and Brand New Day and all that kind of stuff. So that's where
So was
Mayday
she just
comes
pregnant
from,
for
right?
5 years, or what?
I mean, in comics time that works.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
weird.
Well, yeah, but anyway, the art is really fun. It's very throwback to kind of a Mark Bagley 90s-esque kind of, updated a little bit, but it's got that flavor in there. The story is very interesting. It moved really well. I had very, very low expectations for this, but I really liked it a lot. I highly recommend it, and especially Brad is going to just love this book. He's going to lose his mind.
Dude's
so.
a great writer.
Yeah, this was really well done, and it's setting up a story that I actually find to be compelling and interesting, and it's kind of filling a gap for me. I've had it on my reading list forever to go back and read that stuff, and now there's another reason to go back and do it. So, yeah, kind of like the whole thing with Harry and Norman and all of that was at the end of Nick Spencer's run. That made me go back and read The Death of Harry Osborn, because I'd never read that. And that was kind of in roughly that same kind of time period. And it was in one of the side books, was that Spectacular Spider-Man.
There were so many.
Nobody read. So, anyway, Fritz, what have you got? You've got the book that we all fought over.
Yeah. Yeah, that book being Fantastic Four issue 1, new volume starts this week. It's just a fun, charming little adventure with Ben and Alicia. They're kind of like traveling. They find this seems like a nice, quiet little town, and then sort of realize there's some weird time loop shenanigans going on, and it's them trying to figure it out, see if they can fix it and help these people because they've been stuck in a time loop for 80 something years at this point. And I don't know, it's just there's just enough action in there to get that for you, but it's a really cute little character moment for the two of them, just kind of see them solve problems and be a nice couple together. And there's just enough of little tease at the end that kind of tells you where the rest of the team's at, what the status quo is, to make you be oh, I gotta tune in to figure this out. And then there's also a nice little message from the new writer being hey, this is what the book's gonna be. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be adventure, family. I don't know. I'm very excited to see where the rest of this book goes. Art's also great.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
It was gorgeous.
It was great.
Also just super funny at point. There's the point where the Thing is trying to pretend to be a ghost, and it's really funny.
Yeah. They hit a lot of the so this being just Ben and Alicia hanging out, basically, trying to figure out something together. I thought that they added a lot of depth to their relationship, and they've basically been dating since the 60s, since the early 60s, and that's something that has not been done all that well before. So to see to see a little more effort put into those two characters having warmth with each other was really fun.
Every time he calls her Sweet Pea, it just like it melts my heart.
Yeah. Well, and then you throw in the Groundhog Day time loop kind of stuff, and it was a lot of fun. But the art is just gorgeous. I'm really excited about this creative team.
Over to you, Sarah.
Thanks, Fritz. So I picked Do a Powerbomb number 6. I don't know if this is the second or third time I picked this title, which should tell you like how good this book is. So. But Daniel Warren Johnson continues to just tell this beautiful story about, what it is to be a parent, what it is to be a daughter, and really what it is to have to grieve the loss of somebody, which, I think all of us at some point in our life have had to deal with. And, I don't think all of us are willing to go do a, death cage match wrestling thing to bring them back. But it's just... I love it. As a parent, as a daughter, I think this story is just such a beautiful look at what those relationships really mean, and from both perspectives, both the father perspective and from the daughter perspective. And I think that this issue in particular does a really nice job of tying in how Luna's parents originally met. And so you kind of see some of the back history, which we haven't known before. And it's just, it's the penultimate, so I'm really interested to see it got this really cliffhanger ending. So I'm really excited to see where it goes from here. But it's a really solid read. I know we have back issues, so if you haven't been reading it, highly, highly, highly recommend Do Powerbomb. It's solid.
So issue 6 wraps up the initial story arc. Then is this going to be where they drop the trade paperback? Or
there's one more issue.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So be watching the solicits.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like Daniel Warren Johnson really does volume 2s.
Yeah.
Nope. So you think this is going to be a one and done?
I think this is.
I'm not sure, but based on how 6 ends, I would imagine it will probably be. But I also could see it not. I could see it definitely not wrapping up either. So I'm not sure, but it's either good. Either way, it's really good.
Yeah, fantastic.
So, all right, Corey, what do you have?
I picked The New Golden Age, a one-shot.
Makes a lot of sense because you're kind of an authority on like Golden Age DC characters.
Definitely not.
Isn't that what you were telling us before in the meeting?
Definitely not. I know a little. I know the characters from the JSA.
I think I'm the one who is.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Fritz really should have picked this book, and I should have picked Fantastic Four.
Well, too bad.
So, I know a little about the JSA, and it has always interested me. So I've been very excited for the Jeff Johns Justice Society stuff coming up. And this is the lead into all of that. And it's just a really cool book. And it just sets everything up. So this is the start of all of it. And the Justice Society book is going to be a 12-issue mini. Hopefully it doesn't take 2 years to come out like Doomsday Clock did. But
can you really call a 12-issue a mini-series?
I think
it's
technically a maxi series. But I was telling Fritz that it seems like this is what Jeff Johns was shooting for with Doomsday Clock. Like this was what was supposed to come out of Doomsday Clock, and he just took too long. So, but it's a ton of fun. The art is great. The story is cool. It hops around, and you get the story from a bunch of different perspectives, and there's all these different storylines that they're going to be doing. So, it all starts here. If you're excited for Justice Society of America, is the Stargirl book a one-shot?
No, it's a miniseries.
It's a miniseries? Yeah. If you're excited for Stargirl or the new Justice Society of America, come in and pick this book up, because if you don't, you will regret it.
Well, and this is exactly what you've been asking DC to do, is to spend a little more time on a character that's not Batman.
Yeah, and it's great.
And to delve into a bunch of characters that are already in the stable, but then they're also creating a bunch of new characters spinning out of that.
It is funny though that Batman's in here quite a bit, actually.
Sure, but
I wouldn't say quite a bit. He's in here a little bit, but
he's in there enough.
He's in here enough.
Tolerable amount for Corey.
A tolerable amount, yeah. If he was in here much more, I'd probably just.
Well, and again, a lot of setting up another character.
Well, he's there for some. Yeah, but yeah,
he's there to just set up another character, and I don't think he's really here for any other reason.
Yeah, and for you speculators, there's a bunch of first appearances. Yeah.
Yep. We got a bunch of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This book is good though. If you don't pick it up, I will make fun of you. So. And I don't have much time left.
Add it to the list.
I don't have much time left.
Recordings.
If you haven't heard, December 3rd will be my last day.
Dun.
We're editing that out.
Oh, are we?
Yeah.
Oh, please edit that part out, but keep my dun in.
Oh, okay.
So that we're just like, what is he doing?
No, we're not. We're going with this. Keep going. Tell me.
Go.
Yeah. But December 3rd will be my last day. So come in and say goodbye. I'll still be around, but
You make it sound so
Yeah,
sad.
you sound like a
Went
kicked
to the
puppy or
farm?
something. Good golly, yeah. We are. We're taking him to the farm.
I've
You're
lived
gonna
here
love
for,
the farm,
you know,
Corey. You'll
I've-
frolic freely in the fields.
I don't like frolicking. I sweat a lot.
This derailed so quickly.
But it wouldn't be us if it didn't.
It's
Fair.
true.
But I think that's all we have time for today.
Oh, thank God.
So make sure you come in at 11 or some point today and pick up your comics. Pick up the books that we're recommending. Go home and read them. Come back. Tell us about them. Let us know what books you're excited about. And we'll see you then. And make sure you follow us on the social medias at PulpCG on Facebook, Instagram, and maybe Twitter. And we'll see you later.
What the hell is this?
If I told you, you'd be so mad.
What?
I kept looking over at the Boruto pop and be like, he looks like his head's made of bananas.
Again?
Oh God, I have done this before.